We are living in a society that has been plagued with a false sense of entitlement. Many people believe they are owed something because they have the ability to convert oxygen into carbon dioxide. Luxury items are being classified as necessities. How can a collector of woke welfare find gainful employment if he doesn't have a government issued smartphone? Now, of course, who needs a job when the federal government is giving you free room and board, food stamps, free education, free health care? I wish YouTube provided those same benefits to me. Couple of days every week, my mom volunteers her time at a food bank, one of those places where free food is provided by the government. Believe me when I tell you, they're not starving over there, they're eating good. I know this might be an unpopular opinion, but healthcare is not a right. Healthcare is not promised to you because you have the ability to breathe. Healthcare is a luxury. Healthcare is a benefit that's offered to those who work. Over the weekend, the mainstream media, they have been busy promoting the entitlement of healthcare again. Tony Snell is a former NBA player who was drafted in the first round by the Chicago Bulls. Tony Snell is the very definition of a journeyman role player in the NBA. If Draymond Green wasn't drafted by the Rainbow Warriors, if Draymond Green wasn't holding on tight to Steph Curry, riding him to multiple NBA championships, his career would mirror the NBA career of Tony Snell. Spent a few years in Chicago, a couple of years in Milwaukee, then Detroit, Atlanta, Portland, until spending the last year of his NBA career in New Orleans. Now, just to give you some perspective here as to how unimpactful Tony Snell was in the NBA, I never miss a Pelicans game, and I even forgot that Tony Snell played in the NBA. His last year with the Pelicans was in 2022. Only been 2 years. And someone like me who rarely forgets anything, I forgot Tony Snell played for my NBA team. To his credit, though, he managed to last 9 years in the NBA, a league where the average career length is 4.5 years. One of the benefits of having an extended career in the NBA, the league will provide you with premium health benefits after you retire. Now, I'm not sure how long the benefits last. To my knowledge, the NBA will cover retired players for the rest of their life. And it's not just the players that are included in this premium healthcare plan. His wife and children also covered. In order to receive this premium plan from the NBA, you got to spend a minimum of 10 years playing in the league. Problem for Tony Snell, his NBA career ended after year 9. No big deal though, right? I looked up his career earnings. Tony Snell made over $52 million during his NBA career. According to Blue Cross and Blue Shield, average healthcare premium for a family of 4, less than $1,500 a month. And this wasn't the cheap plan either. This was the premium plan, which I would assume is similar to the plan that the NBA offers. Now, of course, with the NBA, Tony Snell would be covered, I would assume, for free, but that's a moot point because he doesn't qualify right now for coverage. The point is, Tony Snell is more than capable of providing health insurance to his family, which is why I have been incredibly confused all weekend, really since last Wednesday, with all this fake outrage in the mainstream media. Fake outrage that was started because Tony Snell gave an interview to Yahoo Sports where he played the role of the ultimate sympathizer to perfection. The victimization of Tony Snell, it caught the attention of the mainstream after Barkley discussed his situation on Inside the NBA Thursday night. Now, as you're about to see, Charlie is so familiar with Tony Snell, he has trouble pronouncing his fucking name. The legendary crew on TNT, they were talking about the upcoming All-Star game, also known as the most meaningless weekend of the season, where the league takes an entire week off work to supposedly celebrate the NBA fan base. Now, if the NBA really wanted to show appreciation to their fan base, they would stop having fans removed from the arena because they hurt Luka's feelings. That fan told me I was out of shape. He's the fattest. I want his ass removed. Instead, the NBA organizes a weekend of wiener while setting record low ratings on television. But during this discussion of NBA All-Stars, out of nowhere, Charles Barkley mentions Tony Snell. It was confusing because Tony Snell has never been an All-Star. Hell, Tony Snell has never been a star. This dude has spent the last 2 years making minimum wage in the G League, the league soon to be known as the WNBA. If dump divers get their way, men pretending to be women will be allowed to develop their skills in the dump. Once all the real women are removed from the league due to their lack of talent, the NBA will rename it the G League and the WNBA will just cease to exist. Charles Barkley, though, he pleaded with NBA owners to offer woke welfare to Tony Snell. What was his justification? At 32 years old, is Tony Snell productive enough to make an NBA roster? If that were the case, he'd already be on one. Basically, Charles Barkley wants NBA owners to give a free contract, free money to Tony Snell so he can complete his 10th year in the league and qualify for free health insurance. Kenny Smith, he had an even better idea. Instead of wasting a roster spot on Tony Snell, Kenny Smith, he employed NBA Commissioner Alice Silver to make an exception. Why waste a roster spot? Why waste several $1 million giving Tony Snell a veteran's minimum contract when Alice can simply make an exception and give Tony Snell free health care? Hell, while we're at it, let's have the NBA give everyone free health insurance. This league generates billions of dollars every year. They have shown their dedication to Barack Obama and his dream of free health care for all. Let's just go ahead and start a new initiative in the NBA where there is free health care for all birthing persons. Watch for yourself.
Tony Snell?
Yeah. Needing to be signed.
By the end of this week. Yeah. Because he's got 2 kids with autism, and he needs to play to the end of the year to get a 10-year medical to help him take care of his 2 autistic kids. I hope one of you guys sign Tony so his 2 autistic kids can get great medical care. I read that article.
Or it's the league just, Adam Silver comes in and it makes an exception and he gets the
Look, all kidding aside, I can sympathize with Tony Snell and his family. Like Charles Barkley, I don't know shit about autism. I would imagine for most families, it's prohibitively expensive to provide adequate health care for an autistic child, much less 2 of them. I understand why people feel sympathetic. With Tony Snell needing the rest of the season to qualify, I can understand why the uninformed would be pressuring NBA teams to offer him a contract. And it's not just Charles Barkley who's uninformed and pressuring the NBA. 2 of our favorites here on the channel, Dwayne Wade and his partner Gabe, they are also pushing the NBA to provide free health care benefits to the Snell family. Even conservative media sites like Outkick, they are claiming this could be great PR for the NBA. First of all, it is not the NBA's responsibility to provide free health care to Tony Snell and his family. Seems pretty simple to me. If you don't play 10 years in the league, you don't qualify. But KC, can't we make an exception? Both of his kids have autism, you heartless bastard! Yeah. Just bear with me a few more minutes here. I'll show you why I'm not a heartless bastard. Last I checked, though, Charles Barkley was a multi-millionaire. I don't know if this is still the case, but in the past, Charles Barkley has been well known for losing millions of dollars every year in a casino. If he really wanted to help Tony Snell, couldn't Charlie spare, $18,000 every year and cover his healthcare premiums? The Union family, which consists of Gabe and D. Wade, they are known for contributing to woke causes. Does your child need gender-affirming care? Contact the offices of Gabe and Wade. We will ensure that your child receives the gender-affirming care he or she needs. Last I checked, Gabe and Wade, multimillionaires. Throughout his NBA career, Dwayne Wade made almost $200 million. That's just NBA alone. That does not include endorsements. Throughout her acting career, which has spanned a few decades, Gabe Union has made millions of pesos. If they wanted to help Tony Snell, why don't they put up their own money? Seems pretty basic to me. Here we have a family in need. Here we have a family being oppressed by white owners in the NBA. Instead of wasting your time begging the NBA to spend their money, why don't you spend your own money? It's always easier to get behind a cause when you're talking about spending someone else's money. But let me show you the real reason I'm struggling to sympathize with Tony Snell. I'm assuming that maybe he has spent the bulk of the $53 million that he made in the NBA. I don't know that for sure, but I'm assuming that because otherwise he wouldn't be giving interviews to Yahoo Sports where he's practically begging to get back into the NBA so he can provide health insurance to his children. The children, oh, it's all about the children. Look, we all make mistakes. We all make poor choices with money. It sucks that Tony Snell's children could be being impacted by his potential financial mistakes. Believe it or not, I was actually feeling sympathetic to his situation until I found this. This footage, it was uploaded to social media by Tony Snell's wife. Now, I muted the sound for copyright reasons, but watch this for yourself. I don't know about you guys, but to me, that appeared to be a private jet. I looked up rental prices for private jets, cost anywhere from $3,500 to $7,000 an hour to rent a private jet, or about 2, maybe 3 months of health insurance at minimum. I'm not an expert when it comes to purses, but those look like Birkin bags. Not just one. I counted 5, maybe even 6 Birkin bags in that video. Looked up some of their prices. Every Birkin bag that I found sold for over $10,000. For argument's sake, let's say there were 5 Birkin bags in that video at $10,000 a piece, which was the low end of the price scale. That equates to what, $50,000 or about 3 years of health insurance. Are you starting to understand why I'm having trouble feeling sympathetic here? Look, I don't know his personal finances. Tony Snell could still be a millionaire. He could still have the bulk of the $53 million that he made during his NBA career. He could be in a situation where he could easily afford health insurance now, but he's worried about being able to afford health insurance in the future, and he wants the benefits offered by the league just in case something were to happen. Most fathers in his situation probably would be doing the same thing. But here's the thing. If Tony Snell wants those benefits, he should have to earn them. If he wants one more season in the NBA and prove your worth and prove your value to the point where an NBA team has to sign you. NBA contracts aren't given out because of sympathy. There are millions of sob stories. Everyone goes through adversity. That doesn't mean you're entitled. Years ago, Nick Saban was giving a press conference. The media was asking him about the status of some highly recruited player on his roster. I don't remember the exact details, but Nick Saban, he ended up giving a classic speech on entitlement. Said something to the effect of, every morning when you wake up, you're entitled to nothing. If you're a 5-star recruit, you're entitled to nothing. If you're the best player on the team, if you're the best player in the country, you're entitled to nothing. Everything is earned, nothing is given. That speech applies to Tony Snell. Part of me feels for the dude. I feel for his children. I hope they get the health care they need. But that doesn't change the fact that you're entitled to nothing. But give me your thoughts on this. I have been sitting on this story since Wednesday or Thursday of last week. At first, I was agreeing with Charles Barkley. Sometimes, though, this is why I give certain stories a few days to breathe. Tony Snell was not signed by the NBA on the deadline. If he wants insurance, he's going to have to wait until the offseason or next season. Should he be given a sympathy contract? Does the NBA owe Tony Snell health insurance? You let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. I appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.